The first time I remember hearing Van Halen was riding in my high school buddy Chet's early 70s Boss Mustang with shag carpet and a Craig Powerplay stereo. And we were both working at a gas station in Ashtabula that was that flying saucer gas station. And I'll show a picture of that. And him and another guy named Bobby Costello, we were riding in this car, and I was in the back seat, and of course, we were getting high, and he popped in the first Van Halen tape, and I was like, what is this? He says, Van Halen, man, it's really great. I was like, well, it's okay, but I was like really into Led Zeppelin, and even though I thought it was good, I wasn't instantly blown away like the first time that I had heard it. This is that gas station at 5 Points that was a local landmark, but it's gone now. So later on that year, after the summer closed out, before Christmas, I was in a band with another guitar player named Bob Titman, who had an SG and a Marshall combo, and he taught me all the songs. Ain't Talking About Love, Running with the Devil, On Fire, we did You Really Got Me, Ice Cream Man, and he played the shit out of this stuff and was really, really good at getting that tone that I couldn't get. So the following summer, Black Sabbath Never Say Die tour was still going. And there was a place in Erie, Pennsylvania called the Erie Field House where they held a lot of concerts that we used to go to. And me and my friend James and Jeff all piled in a car and went to that concert. And Van Halen opened for him. And when Eddie played Eruption on stage out there with the curtain pulled, or, the curtain closed, and him the only one on stage, I argued with my two buddies who were not guitar players that there was no way he could play that by himself. That there was some trickery, witchery stuff going on there. There was no way Eddie Van Halen could make that sound by himself. Well, I was wrong. Well, time went on, and we made it into the 80s, and Van Halen had put out Van Halen 2, and we were still concentrating on the shit from Van Halen 1, trying to learn how to play that stuff the right way. And then Jump comes out, and the album 1984, and Panama, Drop Dead Legs, Hot for Teacher, and all those videos hit MTV. And, for guitar players, as far as playing that stuff, it was a do or die situation. And for me, it was pretty much die. And I literally went to being a bass player for about 4 years. And I was switching back and forth between guitar and bass in a top 40 band, and we picked up this kid that was literally 10 years younger than me, but played an Ibanez guitar and was a whiz bang, and he could play all those songs off of 1984. So of course there's Ed back on the bass. So I did get to play some of the stuff, but I was the bass player. So then comes the Diver Down era, and Pretty Woman and Dancing in the Streets. And we had been covering Pretty Woman for years, the Roy Orbison version. And really the only thing that we saw change on that was, you rocked it up a little bit, and the guitar got a little heavier, and, Eddie, the way Eddie did the lick, so that became a staple cover. And if you got into like a country band that was doing Pretty Woman and you played it the Van Halen way, you could really get on some guys' nerves, But we played it, and it became just more solidified as a classic rock standard. And I think we attempted Dancing in the Streets a few times, but I was never really big on that song anyway. Unfortunately, right here, I cannot play Finish What You Started. YouTube won't let me. Then Sammy Hagar's in the band, and the song Finish What You Started came out. And this was the first time that Eddie Van Halen was playing the guitar for me. This was the kind of guitar I wanted to hear. And I absolutely was head over heels for the song. I was head over heels for Sammy being in the band because I was a huge Sammy fan. And I was working in a tool and die shop called Penco Tool at the time. And one of the other tool makers was a young kid. We called him Jeff Bob, but his name was Jeff. That was a bass player. And he had a friend that was a guitar player that actually brought me the tablature for this song. And I'm guessing this is like 92, 93. It was in the summer. And I got my first taste of tablature and had to learn how to read tab and do tab. And it was a major milestone in my guitar playing, being exposed to tab, because we still didn't have the internet. They were coming out of magazines and stuff, and the internet, you know, had not hit yet. So that was a big milestone, and probably the biggest impression that Eddie Van Halen had on me as a guitar player was this song and the tone and the way it was done, and introducing me to tab. Thanks, Jeff. So we all kind of know where the Van Halen story went from there. The Sammy years, and then that ended, and they went back with Dave for a while, and then, you know, things got a little weird with Van Halen, but there's no doubt that Van Halen as a band was one of the greatest, most influential rock bands of our generation, and that Eddie Van Halen was certainly one of the biggest innovators on guitar. There's no doubt about it. You can't deny it. And it's sad in his passing, and he will be greatly missed. But you know, these things happen, and they happen. Only the good die young. That's what they say. And Eddie was certainly good. He was great. And, you know, I'd like to thank Van Halen, Edward Van Halen, and the whole band, just for everything they did to shape modern rock and even, you know, modern pop. There'll never be another one like them. We'll miss you, Ed.